is the original Enter the Realm demo?
Where?
Yeah, is it in some kind of safe?
Yeah, with a few other masters. Yeah, yeah. It's you know about that, huh? Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm amazed at actually what I every once in a while they pop up, and I sign them, and it's people tell me they pay these crazy prices on eBay, and it's like, geez. But yeah.
You have a pretty long career now, but still, your band pretty much started out with the death of your closest friend back then. How difficult is it still for you thinking about that?
I've gotten more at peace with it for sure. I mean, I think writing the song was actually a big step, and it took a lot of years for that to happen. For me to be able to put those emotions into music and then get it out. It's kind of like exercising a demon a little bit. So, I mean, I'm definitely doing better with it. It's still difficult, but it's one of those things. What I think we can't really escape our destinies, whatever they are. I'm not sure why things happen the way they do, and I don't think anybody knows. But it's just you never know what's around the corner. So.
Yeah, but it shows that music really helps.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean and the cool thing is that song has really helped a lot of other people. It's touched a lot of people that have lost family members or friends, and whether it's to cancer or in an accident or whatever. I mean, I've just heard so many stories since that song's been out on the Something Wicked album which has been about 11 years now that it's been out. So it's I've heard a lot of stories, and it's cool. It helps people. It helped me, and it's cool.
Pretty much since the beginning, you have a pretty big following in Europe. How difficult was it the past couple years with Europe? Like when Europe and the United States had some trouble with each other?
I don't know.
How did that impact your career?
I don't know, man. I mean, I think that if you're talking about the Glorious Burden era, for instance, that really was a record that I think the message got taken off point, whether it was by the media to try to create controversy, which is what I think, because that sells. And I've never been one to really hold back on my feelings. So, but I think that at the end of the day, it shouldn't have been taken off point, because that album is an album that's a theme album based in military history. It doesn't really have any. I mean, yeah, I'm an American and I'm interested in American history, so I wrote about things that I'm familiar with. But we also wrote about there's several songs that deal with European history on there. But people chose to ignore that, and to try to turn it into some kind of controversy. And it's just something that, as far as, I don't know that it was really difficult for us. I mean, we've sold The Glorious Burden is our biggest selling album. Framing Armageddon did killer. It's so I can't really. I have to look at things like in a factual standpoint, and that was our, up to this point was our biggest period worldwide. So. Was it the controversy or was it the music? I choose to think it was the music, because I love that record, and I think it was very strong.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things that I hate that sometimes politics. I don't think that music and musicians and actors and all these people need to be shooting off at the mouth about politics, because what is it that makes an actor or somebody think that they know something just because they sell a lot of records or that their movies are really popular? Most of these people are so disconnected from reality anyway, and they don't have anything in common with what the average person does, because, let's face it, a big superstar, a big Hollywood superstar is not living like the rest of us are, you know what I mean? And so when they shoot off at the mouth about things that have concerning policy on whatever government there is around the world, I think it's like, it's lame. I mean, this is entertainment, and this... We need, my thing with Iced Earth has always been to give people an escape from that shit, that's daily stuff that they get hammered with by the news media and everything else. I mean, Iced Earth has always been, with the exception of The Glorious Burden, which is the only album that really dealt with anything real, which was military history, but even still, it was not political, and the rest of our records are certainly fantasy and, you know, dark stuff, you know, whatever, but there's never a message there of like a certain political bent. You know, I'm not into that. So
In 2002, you released the record Gods of Metal. What was it?
Tribute to the Gods.
Tribute to the Gods.
Yeah.
How many of those guys have you met so far? Or maybe you have become friends with?
Well, I've met a few of the guys in Maiden. I've met Alice Cooper. He's a great guy. Met the guys in Black Sabbath when we toured with Heaven and Hell in the UK. I have not yet met any of the guys in AC/DC or Blue Oyster Cult or...
I don't know. Are they still alive, Blue Oyster Cult?
Oh yeah, dude, they still tour, man.
Really?
Oh yeah, they're very active in the States. They still put out records and they're always out on the road. They're a hard-working band still.
Great songs in the 70s.
Oh yeah, man,
Jesus.
awesome stuff, man. So I mean, you know, that there's still a few that I haven't met that I would love to, but I have to say, like, all the guys that I've met have been amazing. I mean, the guys in Maiden are very cool people, and obviously, I mean, the guys in Sabbath are as well. Ronnie being, you know, one of the most amazing individuals I've ever met in the music, in life, period, but, you know, certainly in the music business, he's great, you know, and Alice Cooper was awesome as well. I mean, you know, he looks you in the eye and listens to what you're saying, and he's just very compassionate, good person, and it's really cool to meet people like that, especially guys that I've you know, idolized since I was a really little kid. It's great.
Yeah. What is it that keeps those people going? Like you said, Blue Oyster Cult are still on tour. I mean, Black Sabbath, Ozzy's still playing.
Yeah.
But what keeps them going?
Man, I don't know. I mean, probably the same thing that keeps me going. You know, it's when you know, it's what we do. You know, I don't know how to explain it. I mean, it's somewhat, it's not the easiest life in the world for sure, but you know, it's just when you're an artist, it's what you do. You know, and it's kind of it also seems like when you're in this. You may think you can get away from it, but you never will. You know, it's that kind of thing. Like it's the curse, man. Once you got it, you're there. And if you're really you know, there's people that can do this part time, I guess. I'm not one of them. You know, this is the life that I chose a long time ago, and this is what I'm going to do. Music. You know, I'm always going to be a songwriter as long as I think I have something to say. I mean, if I feel like that creative impulse has dried up, then, you know, that's when I will disappear from the scene. But I don't feel like that's coming anytime soon. So.
Well, but of course, every artist has his point where he says, "Oh, come on, leave me alone, the whole fucking business."
Yeah.
And do you have a special place where you go then?
Well, man, I mean, I'm one of these guys that does not take vacations nearly often enough. And I mean, I haven't taken one in 6 years, and back then it was a week. So, and it was 4 years before that. So it's like, as soon as this tour is over, that's my priority. You know, like basically management saying, gotta happen, you know, and it does, because it's just been, especially like the last 3.5 years have been very intense. And, you know, so it's time for that. But really the place for me is just to be with my family. I've discovered that since my daughter was born, that being with her, I'm happy no matter where we're at, you know, and it's what keeps me grounded. It's what keeps me, you know, it makes me happy to be around her, you know, and it's a great to be away from the business, you know. It doesn't matter where we are together with my family, as long as we're together, it's cool.
MULATSCHAG!